powers that be. Today, if you have a question, we're doing Instagram live only. This is a test run. This is the first time I've did a Black parent teleconference purely and exclusively on Instagram live. There will be no telephone. There will be no telephone. If you have a question, you have to go to Instagram. There will be no telephone. If you have a question, you have to go to Instagram. Now, for my Instagram people, let me be clear. The questions are about children. The questions are not about haters. The questions are not about FDMG. The questions are not about me. The questions are about the children. Okay? With that being said, in 2020, we will be embarking upon our 50-state Train the Black Parents Tour, our 50-state Know Your School Rights Training Tour. We have 6 states confirmed. Mississippi State. If you live in Mississippi, you're one time and one time only to learn everything there is to know from A to Z about protecting your child from the miseducation machine. Will be on April the 18th. In Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I repeat, April the 18th in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. If you live in the District of Columbia, your one and only time to receive this exclusive Dr. Umar 12-hour intensive Black Parent Know Your Rights training will be on February the 8th. So you only got 5 weeks, D.C. February the 8th, Washington, D.C. I'm only doing this tour one time. There will not be another Black parent training tour because it's intensive. It requires a lot of paperwork. It takes a lot out of me. I'm teaching you for 12 hours. It is intense. Okay? It will not happen again. One time only, because next year we will be in FDMG. One time only, Washington, D.C., February the 8th. First up is Louisiana. If you live in Louisiana, your Black Parent Training Tour seminar will be on Saturday, February the 1st. First day of Black History Month. We're starting off Black History Month, not with a DVD, not with a YouTube video, not with a book, not with a documentary, not with another conference so we can talk, but with work. February the 1st, Louisiana. February the 1st, Louisiana. February the 8th, Washington, D.C. Oklahoma. If you live in Oklahoma, your Black parent training will be on March the 21st. March the 21st in Oklahoma City. March the 21st. Louisiana, New Orleans, February the 1st. D.C., February the 8th. Ohio, if you live in Ohio, your Black parent training will be June 20. Ohio, June 20. Ohio, June 20. And it will be in Cleveland. It will be Texas. If you live in Black Texas, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, okay, wherever you live in Texas, you must come to Dallas, Texas, May the 2nd. Dallas, Texas, May the 2nd for the Black Parent Know Your School Rights 12-hour training. Let me see, who am I leaving out? We almost have Connecticut confirmed for New Haven. We almost have Jersey confirmed. We almost have New York confirmed. If you haven't heard your state, it's because you Negroes are lazy. If you haven't heard your state, it's because you Negroes are lazy. I had people reach out from Carolina, nothing confirmed. We're working on Arizona, but nothing's confirmed. We're working on California, but nothing's confirmed. Okay? We're working on Michigan at Detroit, but nothing's confirmed. We're working on Chicago, Illinois at Chicago, nothing's confirmed. All you have to do is get in contact with Dr. Umar and say, Doc, I have a location. My church will let you do the training. It needs to seat 100 parents, tables, and chairs. It needs to seat 100 parents, tables, and chairs. 8 in the morning to 8 at night on a Saturday. 8 in the morning to 8 at night on a Saturday. 8 in the morning to 8 at night on a Saturday. And it needs to seat 100 parents. You don't have to be a parent to get the training. If you're a college student, you want the training, come get it. You are elder, you want the training, all your children are grown, come come get it. It's not about me. It's about we. You can become an advocate for other parents. You can be an advocate for other parents. You don't have to be a parent. Okay? So if you haven't heard your state, you need to get in touch with me. We are working on Colorado, but nothing is confirmed. We're working on South Carolina, but nothing is confirmed. We're working on Tennessee, but nothing is confirmed. With the miseducation of black children, we should have had all 50 states booked already. With the miseducation of black children, we should have had all 50 states booked already. But that shows how serious y'all are about saving our children. I'm just being honest. Okay, I'm just being honest. I know it's not everybody. But if we got 50 states and we got only 1 out of every 4 black boys graduating, only half of black boys in the 4th grade can read on grade level. Only half of the black boys in 8th grade can do math on their grade level. And we only got 6 states booked. That shows you how trifling black people are. That shows you how much we care about our children. Okay? So if we only get 10 states, that's not on me. That's on y'all. Okay? It's no upfront money. You ain't got to put no upfront money, because what we're going to do is sell tickets on the website, and that's going to pay for my travel, hotel. That's going to pay for the copying, the advertising, the refreshments. That's going to pay for the venue. All you got to do is get it. All you got to do is get the venue. No out-of-pocket money. We'll raise that through the ticket sales, because it ain't about capitalism. It's about activism. It ain't about capitalism. It's about activism. Okay? Okay? So that's how we doing this. If you want to donate to the Black Parent Tour through my Cash App, $ Dr. Umar Johnson. If you want to donate to the Black Parent Tour, Cash App, $ Dr. Umar Johnson. All right? Make sure y'all continue to donate to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Make sure y'all continue to donate to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy at $ FDMG School. $FDMG School, $FDMG School, or mail your check or money order payable to 9634 Wilmington, Delaware, 9634 Wilmington, Delaware, 9634 Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. With that being said, it's time for me to help black parents. With that being said, it's time for me to help black parents. So I'm going to my Instagram. If you have a question, it's time to tap in. It's time to tap in. Let's see who we got. Children only. Children only. Facebook, I will repeat the question. Facebook, I will repeat the question. Studio Shabazz. Peace, brother. Where you at in the world?
Right now I'm in West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach. I just came from Florida yesterday. Shout out to Orlando and Sanford. Do you have a question about our children, my brother? Because we only dealing with the babies right now.
Yes, sir, I do.
Yes,
in fact,
sir.
I do.
Right.
First, I want to say thank you for everything you're doing. I'm a huge supporter, big follower.
Thank you.
My name is Sharad Shabazz. So my daughter, she's 4 years old, getting ready to go to kindergarten. And I'm wondering what would be the perfect time to, start implementing more of challenging books. Because I know you was mentioning somehow yesterday about ADHD and ADD. And it's just a few different things about sitting down and being restless. So I know I can get her to sit down and focus and read. But how do I incorporate, bigger books to actually sit down and get her into, like, not chapter books, but just more syllable words?
Good question. The question is, how can he begin to integrate more challenging books into his daughter's literary curriculum as a preschooler? There's 3 reading levels, right? There is frustrational, there is mastery, and there is instructional. So mastery is the reading that your daughter can do easy. It's easy. It's not a challenge. She's mastering. That's mastery. At the top is frustration. Those are books that are very difficult for your daughter to read. Almost impossible. Okay, we don't want mastery. It's too easy. We don't want frustrational. It's too hard. We want instructional. That means reading books that is half difficult, but half mastery. In other words, she can get through it, but it's going to take her a little longer. That's what we want. We want her at instructional, so she has to struggle a little bit, but she can still feel her progress.
Yes, sir.
She has to struggle a little bit, but she can still feel her progress. Because if you give her frustrational, she going to quit.
Yeah, it ain't going. She don't respond well to that.
Yes, because we read to understand. We
Right.
read to understand. So if you give her frustrational, even if she could decode the words, if she can't pull no meaning from it, it's useless, because we read to understand. So don't make the book too difficult and don't make the book too easy. You want it in the middle, instructional, where she can get through it, but it's going to take her a little bit more effort to master that. You follow me?
Yes, sir. I got you 100%.
See, as parents, we have to manipulate. As parents, we have to manipulate academic success. What do I mean by that? What I'm saying is you want to tuck some easy stuff in there so she can feel good about what she's doing. So when she hit the tough stuff, even if she struggles, she can still say to herself, but I did that one right. You understand? So something she can master, something that's going to be challenging. Something
yes, sir.
She can master, something that's going to be challenging. Like some parents will just give their children tough book after tough book. No. Stick a little easy one in there once in a while to keep the self-esteem up.
Well, I read with her sometimes. It's just, when she get to those harder words, she'll look at me and be like, well, I'll be like, come on now, add.
That's right.
Bed, so something like that. But I definitely understand that. And I don't know how much time you got. Just a quick follow-up. So I have a younger brother, 4th or 5th grade. They're trying to get him to go see a psychologist. And I know how you are big on, not being medicated for something that you don't have. Now, I can't tell his father how to, spare the rod, spoil the child, and go down that whole, conversation. But how do I kind of persuade him to not let them medicate, my nephew? Because I know the results and, the aftermath that could happen.
And how old is the nephew?
He's like about 10 years old.
He's about 10 years old. Well, first of all, talk therapy, no meds.
Yes, sir.
So y'all want to let the therapist know, the psychologist, psychiatrist, whomever, we're looking purely for conversation. We're not interested in nobody's medication. As long as you never accept the medication, you ain't got no problems. The problem with us is we accept it and then we want to stop it. We accept it and then we want to stop it. That's going to be tough because once you accepted the meds, you've agreed that the child needs them. Once you accept the meds, you agreed that the child needs them. But if you reject the medicine from the beginning, you won't have no issue. So the father just wants to reject the meds from the gate, let them know we're only looking for talk therapy. And because you're in Florida, many of the HBCUs in Florida, they specialize in black psychology.
Yeah, I went to
Florida
FAM.
and California is the place to be for black psychology. And of course, California is where the Association of Black Psychologists is headquartered. So with you being in Florida, brother, hit up them HBCUs, contact the counseling office at the HBCUs, and tell them you want some counseling. I'd rather you get it from a student, a psychology student at an HBCU, than one of these Europeans at the clinic.
Yes, sir. Last question before you go. I know you got a lot of people coming in. I saw your tour dates coming up on the 25th. You're coming to Tallahassee.
Yes.
I don't know what the venue is, but I'm actually a resident. I go to Florida State.
I'm waiting for the brother to get me the information. We just confirmed Tallahassee on February the 25th. We just confirmed it 2 nights ago in Sanford, Florida.
Awesome.
So I'm just waiting for him to get me the information. But it'll be my first time in Tallahassee. I've never been there, so I'm looking forward to that, February 25th.
Sounds good. I'm actually a resident, recent graduate of FAMU. I go to Florida State now, so definitely would like to chop it up with you and show you around it if you have time.
Will do, black man.
Thank you. I appreciate all your time.
No doubt. Black power. All right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who my next parent? Tap in, tap in, tap in. Soon as one call drop, I need y'all to tap in with the next one. We doing all the questions from Instagram Live only. Soon when one call drop, y'all need to tap in. Yes, Tallahassee, February the 25th. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is coming for the first time. That will be a lecture, not a training. That will be a lecture, not a training. All right. I am Boo, stay ready. Going once. I am Boo, stay ready. Going twice. I am Boo, stay ready. Going 3 times. I'm canceling you out, Boo, because you're taking too long. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, I'm sorry, Boo. I'm sorry, Queen. Tap back in. I'm sorry. You tapped in soon. I tapped you out. Okay, who we got next on the Black Parent Telecom? John K. Productions going once. John K. Productions. All right. Okay, Sunshine So Determined going once. Sunshine So Determined going twice. Sunshine So Determined going 3 times. So I'm going to tap out Sunshine So Determined. Who else we got? Gamal George going once. Gamal George Photography going once. Gamal George Photography going twice. Gamal.
Hey, doing?
There we go, black man. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Big shout out from England.
England. Shout out from England. I will be in London either April or May, and I will be in Ireland this spring for the first time as well. Go right ahead, black man. What's your question? I
got a question for you, man. So like since a little kid and stuff like that, like I've been suffering from dyslexia and stuff. And I have this thing like where like, so I suffer from a crazy version of dyslexia. So like I can read something, like you can give me something to read today and you can give me something, the same thing to read next week, and I won't be able to read a word.
Okay. My first question to you, if you were a child and somebody said that, then I would say that you probably didn't master it the first time you read it. Of course, you know better than I do. You're a grown man, you know your situation. But are you sure it has nothing to do with memory and retention of information?
I've got really good, I've got really good memory. Like I can memorize things like verbatimly and stuff. Okay. But it's just like it's exactly like the same book. So you could give me the same book to read, and I would like read that same book like next week or something, and then it's like a word wouldn't kick in, and like it's kind of frustrating, especially now that I'm getting older and older and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, the memory part of that can be dyslexic. I'm not getting a clear read on dyslexia because you said you can read it the first time, right?
Yeah.
The normal way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the next time you read it, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds neurological. It could be classified as a dyslexia. I don't know if it would be a dyslexia. I'm kind of leaning more towards some other things. Have you ever had a neuropsych evaluation, a neuropsychological evaluation?
No, never have.
You should get in contact either with your insurance company. I don't know how you guys do it in the UK, but either your insurance company or any of the universities, because they all have psychology clinics, and tell them you would
it's a
neuropsychological.
So what's that like? Neuropsychological?
Yes, a neuropsychological evaluation. That's when we go a little bit deeper into how your cognition works, how your brain actually operates to determine where the disconnect is. You might need a neuropsych, and you might need a neuroclinical eval from the medical doctor themselves when they tap you into, and they scientifically observe your brain process to see what's going on. So you got the neuropsych, but then you actually have the straight up neurological eval that you get from the doctor. So we got two different neurologicals, the neuropsych and then the neuromedical eval from the doctor. You might need both, because even when you do the neuropsych eval, there's still some guesswork. There's still some assumptions. There's still some hypotheses. But when you do the neurological clinical eval from a medical doctor, they normally hook you up to devices that can study the process of your brain. So I would speak with the primary care about it, and I would speak with the psychologist about it as well.
I appreciate it, sir.
No problem, black man. I'm going to see you in the spring. Will do.
All right, take care.
All right, now.
All right.
All right. New Year's coming up. Y'all about to go back to school. Don't let them boys get tested for special ed. Don't let them boys tap in if you have another question. This is Dr. Umar Johnson, live from Detroit, Michigan. I'll be speaking tonight at the Charles Wright Museum, 3 until 6, absolutely free. Bring everyone out, okay? National Black Parent Tour begins in New Orleans, February the 1st. Let me see what we got. Moody and Camera Shy going once. Moody and Camera Shy going twice. Moody and Camera Shy going 3 times. There you go. Peace and love.
Good morning, Dr. Umar. Good morning.
Good morning. Where you tapping in from?
I'm from New York here.
Which part of New York? Where at?
I'm actually upstate. I'm originally from the Bronx, but I'm upstate.
Where at? You still ain't told me where at. Give me a second.
Orange County.
Okay, is that Buffalo-ish? Is that Syracuse-ish?
It's like an hour from New York. An hour from New York City, yeah.
Okay, no problem, sis. Go right ahead with your question.
My question was in regards to my soon-to-be kindergartner.
Yes.
And in New York, you know, we have a new law that's passed about kids and their immunization records.
Correct.
So, I was wondering if you had any insight as to some options that could be. I know homeschool is one that I'm looking into and learning more about, but I wonder if any more options out there, because I'm also a student and I may be returning back to work once I'm done with my coursework. So that's what I'm up against. So I was wondering if you had any insight about that.
It's going to be tough. The new law is going to make it tough. For me, that new law in New York that requires that all children be immunized, to me, should be motivation to Black New York to build our own independent schools for our children and our own homeschool networks for our children. If Black New York ever had a better reason, then I would like to know what it is. I mean, the fact that they're forcing you guys to immunize, and I do believe a lot of that is a direct result of the work of myself and others through educating Black parents. They're watching us, and so now they're forcing these laws on our people. So it's really going to be tough to get around it. It's really, you need a medical excuse. You need a medical excuse. But what I think Black parents in New York need to do is join the NIBPA, form a united front, and fight back just like the white folks do. The white folks are out there fighting back against these forced vaccinations. I don't see any Black organization fighting back against these forced vaccinations. We're doing it through the NIBPA, but again, because we don't sit on YouTube and talk all day long, a lot of Black people aren't interested in getting behind us because we're about real work, not armchair revolution. So I don't know, but if you're interested in helping to organize, and if you want to start getting Black parents together where we can form, a task force to push back against forced vaccinations, then let us do it. You know, we may have to protest, we're going to have to stand up and show out, but there's ways to push back, but we got to push back. Black people don't push back. There was no pushback from Black New York when the law came down that you had to force vaccinate your children. There was no pushback from anybody. Okay, the conscious Hoteppers, they didn't push back. There was no pushback whatsoever. And that's why the NIBPA organization is so important, because we're the only ones pushing back against the miseducation, forced vaccination, psychiatric medication of our children. Homeschool is really going to be the way to go to prevent the vaccinations. Homeschool or independent schools that don't require it. But I would recommend. Is it possible
for them to come for homeschoolers in regards to, I mean, can it get to that level?
Of course it can. Of course it can. But they got to find you and track you down. And I don't see them doing that in New York because there's just so many of you guys. Of course it can get to that level where they start seeking to search and destroy us. Okay, but it's going to take a while before they get there. It's going to take a while before they get there. In fact, I think New York City is really a test case because you guys are the largest Black population in the country. I believe that's why they started with New York. They started with New York because they said, we're going to send a message to Black folks everywhere. Because if we can force all of Black New York to vaccinate their children, we can force anyone else, because New York is the largest Black community in America. So if you guys fold, it's going to be easy for us to push back everywhere else. That's why I've decided to become president of the New York City chapter of the NIBPA. I'm going to personally lead the New York City NIBPA chapter, because I know if New York loses, we all lose. New York is ground zero. New York is ground zero. If New York loses, we all lose. So we have to fight back against miseducation in New York, and we have to fight back against forced vaccination in New York.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Umar.
you.
Keep
appreciate
up the great
you
work.
guys.
We appreciate
Thank you so
it
much.
so much. Okay.
God bless you. All right now.
God bless.
Yes, New York, we got to organize. Staten Island, okay? We got to organize. Harlem, we got to organize. Queens, we got to organize. Brooklyn, we got to organize. Bronx, we got to organize. I'm still waiting on New York to find me some meeting places. I need a meeting place in each of the 5 boroughs in New York City. I need a meeting place in each of the 5 boroughs in New York City so I can come and start organizing our parents. Staten Island, I haven't heard from you. Harlem, I haven't heard from you. Brooklyn, I haven't heard from you. Bronx, I haven't heard from you. Queens, I haven't heard from you. I need a place to hold the organizational introductory inaugural meeting to organize Black New York. Problem with Negroes is all y'all want to do is sit on YouTube and talk shit all day. You're not helping nothing by doing that. Okay. Let me go down. I got a question for y'all on Instagram. Let me try this Mystic. On Instagram, the new requests to go live, are they at the top of the list or the bottom of the list? On Instagram, the new requests to go live, are they at the top of the list or the bottom of the list? I need to know that. On Instagram, when y'all request to go live, should I start at the top of the list or scroll down to the bottom? The top of the list or the bottom of the list? I need to know that. I need to know that. Okay? So I got I Am Boo at the top. So maybe that's new. I'm about to ask I Am Boo because I clicked her off by accident earlier. I Am Boo. Where you at, Queen? You be taking a minute. There you go. Question for you, Queen. Did you just request? I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I just requested. I had to back out and then go back and it popped up again.
Question. How long ago from right now did you request to come back on? How many seconds?
About 5-6 minutes.
So it was a while.
Yeah, it was a while.
Okay, because you were at the top of my list. I'm trying to figure, were you the last person to request to go live or the first person to request to go live?
I probably was the last. I probably was the last. From the first time when we tried to go on the first time.
Okay.
And you came in and it went back out. I don't know why.
Okay, but this most recent time, it was still 6 minutes ago when you requested. This most recent time.
Yes.
Okay, so it may be the bottom of the list, may be the youngest of the requests then. Okay. Where you calling in from, Queen?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. The training in Cleveland, just so you know, will be
June
Saturday,
20.
June 20. All right? And you can register for those on my website, everybody, DrUmarJohnson.com. Go right ahead with your question, good sister.
Yes, I homeschool my kids. My son is 12. My daughter is 10. We're going through an online academy. It's called Connections Academy.
I've heard of it. Yes,
and they seem to like it okay, but I'm trying to keep them wanting to stay in homeschool because I'm not really. I reside in Willoughby, Ohio, but I'm originally from Cleveland.
Okay.
And it's very racist here. I had to send plenty of times. I've had to send assignments back to the school because of the way that they present them, you know, talking about the Mayflower, talking about all types of things that I know for a fact is lies. Sometimes my son even know that they're lies. And I just choose to homeschool my kids because of that and because of where we live. But I'm trying to keep my kids interested in wanting to go to homeschool.
Okay.
My daughter is a bit dyslexic. And my son, he just seems to just not be interested because he just misses his friends and things like that. But I want to keep them going with this type of, you know, education. And I'm just trying to figure out how to keep them going with it. I don't know where to start.
Now, when you say keep them going, are they losing motivation for it, or why are you saying keep them going?
Yeah, they're losing motivation for it. And also, you know, their father, he doesn't want them to do homeschool.
Why?
We're not together any longer.
Why doesn't he want?
He just chooses not to want to. I don't know. He never really gave me an answer as to why. We get into it a lot. We have a lot of, you know, disagreements. We're not together anymore. But he just doesn't want to. He figures that they're going to be behind and that they're not doing well. But they seem to do well as long as we, you know, stick to, you know, the curriculum and things like that. But I'm really interested in the school that you have going and wanted to, you know, get them going there or keep them going with homeschool until I can get them there. But it's just, they just lose so much interest.
Let me ask you this. And of course, we know all the problems with public school. We know all the problems with public school. What is your main reason for pulling them out of, what grades are they in? What grades?
My son is in the 6th and my daughter is in the 4th.
Okay. What's your main reason for pulling them out of public school?
Because the school out here, they do not teach anything as far as Black history.
Okay.
They don't teach anything as far as, you know, teaching them how to be having businesses or owning anything. They're just teaching them basically how to be an employee.
Okay. I got you. I think it might be time for you to take the initiative and start a homeschool collaborative, a homeschool network. Okay. And what that would mean is basically you need to come up with a flyer and just ask, are there any parents out here in Cleveland who are interested or in the area, okay, Bedford Heights, you know, in the area, who's interested in starting a homeschool network? And then you parents come together. Let's say it's 5 of you. You might be the science teacher. The next one might be the reading teacher. The next one might be African history and culture. The next one might be phys ed. You follow? And so what you need, sounds to me, it's time for that homeschool network. That's what it sounds like. You know, because that computer, going through that computer, that Connections Academy, it's not keeping your children's attention, and it's probably not a very good curriculum either. So it's time for you to give them a real traditional, organic homeschool experience that will come from, okay, bringing other parents together who also want to homeschool their kids. And it'll be easier on all of you, because you may only have to teach on Monday. The next parent may only have to teach on Tuesday, because you guys are sharing the burden. So I think it's time for you to start asking, who wants to help me homeschool our children together? Y'all can do it house to house, because it was
also the vaccinations. They had mandatory vaccinations for the kids, the MMR. And my kids, they are vaccinated, but I'm choosing not to do any more vaccinations with them. No brand new ones that they're coming out with. And that was another reason too.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you're done with the vaccinations, because they're killing us with them vaccinations. But I think the homeschool network would be the way to go. In fact, you just gave me an idea. And that is that when I go around to do the NIBPA trainings, I'm probably going to do a special sign up for parents who are interested in building a homeschool network, so we can jumpstart an NIBPA homeschool network everywhere I go. So we're going to do it February 1st in New Orleans. We're going to do it February 8th in DC. We're going to do it March the 21st in Oklahoma. We're going to do it April 18th in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, May 2nd, Dallas, Texas. So that's something we're going to do. But I don't want you to wait till then. I want you to get some parents together. You guys can start meeting. And when I get to Cleveland in June, we can probably sit down and have a conversation and get you guys ready to start in the next 3 months when school comes back.
That's great.
All right. So stay in touch with me. Do what you can at home to supplement the Connections curriculum. I always say every Black parent is a homeschooling parent. Every Black parent is a homeschooling parent. So whatever they're not giving your children, I want you to give that to them. Take them down to the public library. Give them assignments of your own. Let your children know that there's 2 parts to your homeschool. Connections is one part, and your mama is your second part. You follow me? Yes. So start supplementing what Connections is doing. Get them out on those field trips. Get them to the Black History event coming up in February. So you got to supplement what they're doing until we get this NIBPA homeschool team put together.
Of course. Thank you.
No problem, Queen. Talk to you soon. God bless you.
God bless you too.
All right. Yes, indeed, brothers and sisters. I think we're going to jumpstart the NIBPA homeschooling network. I think it's time for that. What y'all think? It's time for us to do the NIBPA homeschooling network. All right. But you register. You can register now for your trainings on DrUmarJohnson.com. You can register now for your trainings. Tap in if you have a question. Tap in if you have a question. Okay. Justin, I'm going from the bottom of the list. I'm going from the bottom of the list because I'm assuming they're the newest ones. Justin going once. Justin going twice. Justin going 3 times. He took a while. All right. View. Sunshine so determined. Sunshine so determined going once. Sunshine so determined going twice. Sunshine, how you doing, sister?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Peace and love. And where are you in the world, my queen? Where are you?
I am in Pompano Beach, Florida.
I just came from Florida yesterday. All right, talk to me.
I was supposed to be there, but you know. But first of all, I just want to say thank you for you know, I mean, you've done a lot. I mean, because I didn't know when I stumbled upon you, I've learned a lot about the whole, you know, getting, you know, our children exempt. And when I've, you know, when I discovered you and I've, you know, found out about it, I immediately got my children exempt. So I just want to say thank you for that. But my question is, I have a 9-year-old, my son. He's not so, you know, I'm a big reader, but he's not. And in my home, I try to, I designate an hour every day. Well, I try at least 3-4 times out of the week, most of the time to, you know, just to have everyone in the house just to grab a book and just read. But for whatever reason, my son is just not interested in reading at all. So how can I get my son into like reading?
Okay. He's not very interested in reading. You want to know how you can get him more interested. What grade is he in?
He's in the 4th.
Okay. So he's old enough where reading should be natural for him. So that means something else is competing for his attention and his time. What is replacing reading? Because if he doesn't want to read, it's because something else is pulling on his attention and time. What is that something else?
Well, right now he's very interested in he's in band, so he has the sticks. He's going around the house every day, just banging on everything. Okay. So it's sticks. Yeah. He's in the band and video game, which I've taken away. But yeah, that's pretty much the only 2 things I can think of.
Okay, video game and band. So what you're telling me is he's very much into high stimulus activity, things that grab your attention, band, the drums, the video games. Okay, so you know what that means? That means you're going to make being in the band, playing in the band, and playing his videos, which he should only be playing just a little bit of time a day. If it was up to me, he would only play video games on the weekend, not at all during the week, but definitely just a little bit of time every day. And I would make those the consequences of him doing his reading. So for example, you may say, depending on how thick the book is, okay, 4th grade, you could give him a couple books that he can read in a day, you know, 1 book a day, 4th grade level. You have to read this book and answer a couple comprehension questions correctly for me. And then once you do that, then you can play on your drums for 2 hours. Or your video game. And I would make it one or the other, okay? Maybe he has 3 hours of free time, because it ain't much free time when you come home after school. You got dinner, you got homework. You know, weekends are different. So, you know, you may say, okay, is it going to be band today or is it going to be video game today? And whichever one it was, you'll only get that if you give me my reading. So I want my reading first. So what I would do is make the reading first. Homework is done. Now you do your reading. Now you do your video games or your band. That's what you're going to have to do. That's what you're going to have to make those the rewards for compliance, or he loses out on them.
Okay.
I think that would be the way to go. But you got to be consistent and you got to be strict, because, excuse me, if you start letting him slide, it's going to be difficult for you to keep his attention. Or keep his trust and faith and respect for your disciplinary system. Because with moms, y'all tend to be a little soft on the boys. Mothers tend to be a little soft on the boys. So, you know, you just want to make sure you stay strict with him, and it'll work out for you.
Okay, and one last question. So what about all the audio books? What are your thoughts on that?
No, he needs to be reading.
Yeah.
Because an audio book doesn't teach you how to read. An audio book is just an oral conversation from the writer. We need him to learn how to decode words, to string them together, to pull out the meaning. The audio. Now, he can listen to audio books for pleasure and to learn, you know, like audio books on Black history. Perfect. But in terms of building his reading skills, we need eye to paper. Eye to paper.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen. And I look forward to seeing you at the Florida training once we choose it. It's probably going to be in Sanford. The Florida training might be in Sanford, so you guys may have to drive a couple hours to get there. But I'm still open because we haven't confirmed. So if there's something in Miami, or if there's something in Jacksonville, or Hollywood or Fort Lauderdale, I'm still open. We haven't confirmed yet, but it does look like it's going to be Sanford.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. God bless. All right. Facebook, they sabotaging. Facebook, they shut down my live. My live was never shut down before. They just shut it down. They just shut it down. Facebook and Instagram are trying to get rid of me. Facebook and Instagram are trying to get rid of me. Make sure y'all donate to the school. $ FDMG school. $ FDMG school. Dallas is May the 5th. The Dallas training is May the 5th. Register now. DrUmarJohnson.com. All trainings are $50 to cover expenses. Activism over capitalism. If you have a question, go ahead and tap in. Okay. Lady Haiti, where you at? Lady Haiti, Aiti, Lady Aiti going once. Lady, I can't see you, sweetie. All I see is
right,
dark.
how am
Why
I?
you so dark? Big, I see you.
Oh, because I'm a dark-skinned girl.
No. I don't mean why you so dark. I mean why the back.
Oh, how about that? Ooh,
Big.
yay.
Okay,
Dr. Umar, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm the Brooklyn mom that always contacts you, like anytime you used to be in Brooklyn, whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I have a son, Ethan, and you've taught me so much.
Okay.
So much when it comes to, the special education stuff and all the technique, all the things that they do to young black boys.
Yes.
In special ed.
Yes.
So much so I became a substitute teacher.
Powerful.
And I actually seen it. The it that you were talking about. It was kind of spooky, but it's like you were talking about. It's up to us to do something about it.
Yes, it's up to us.
If we just sit around, they just gonna continue to do it.
Yes.
Over and over. It's gonna be the same script, just different
thing.
words.
400 years of the same thing.
That's it. And it's like we don't get it. Like, come on. We have to eventually. I mean, Dr. Umar, I got much love for you, although with the extra things that have been happening, but there's one thing about you. You bring information.
Gotcha.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
now,
ma'am.
if you would just do what you do and then you don't do anything for the people, then of course we have an argument, but we don't have an argument.
Right.
You do what you can for the people.
Indeed.
And that you do. So when's the next time you're going to be in New York City?
Next time I'm going to be in New York. We're trying to confirm one of the I'm going to do a couple black parent trainings in New York because y'all just too large. So I'm going to do New York probably twice, probably one in the city and then one upstate somewhere, or maybe both in the boroughs. But I got to do New York twice because y'all have more people than everybody else. Y'all like 5 times the size, of Pennsylvania. So I got to hit up New York a couple times. Hopefully before January. I don't really have much traveling in January outside of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the only place I have in January. So between now and Saudi Arabia, I'm going to spend that time trying to confirm as many trainings as possible. But what that means is, for those of you who live in New York City, such as yourself, my queen, if y'all know of a place, y'all have to find those places because I'm not able to get up there and go looking. That's for y'all to do. So I need y'all to find a church, find a community center, find a place that say, Dr. Umar, I found a place. They only want $500 donation. They support the work. They want the parents to get the training, because we just needed to see the 100. We just needed to see the 100 parents. And then we can make it happen. That's what we're looking for.
Sounds great to me. You take care of yourself. Nice talking to you. I'll continue to listen. And you keep on doing the good work that you do. And you have a happy New Year.
Thank you, Queen.
You're welcome.
All right.
I love you too. Bye.
Peace and love. Yes, indeed. The states. Before I take the next call, let me give y'all the states where you have philosophical exemption from vaccination. There's 18 United States where if you live there, you don't need a religious excuse not to vaccinate your child, and you don't need a medical excuse not to vaccinate your child. Let me say that again. There are 18 states in America where you don't need either a religious excuse or a medical excuse to exempt your child from vaccination. Let me give you those states, because some of you may not know that you live in a philosophical exemption state, which means all you have to do in most states is get a notarized letter. Get a notarized letter stating that you object to vaccinations for personal reasons and you take full responsibility for the consequences of your decision. And you notarize that, you give that to the school secretary, you register your child, and you keep on going. Okay? Y'all don't see nothing on Facebook? They sabotaging my Facebook. They have sabotaged my Facebook. The Facebook people are saying they can't see me or anything. They're sabotaging the Facebook. Okay. The exemption states, give me a thumbs up if you can see me or hear me on Facebook. They sabotaging. They sabotaging on Facebook. They sabotage. Y'all gonna have to come to Instagram. Twitter has been compromised. Facebook has been compromised. Instagram is the only thing that has not been compromised. So y'all need to come over to Instagram at Dr. Umar Johnson on Instagram. These are, in fact, I'm about to just, y'all can see me. Can you hear me? Monique Thornton, can you hear me on Facebook? Marcy Righteous Earth, can you hear me on Facebook? Nicole Russell. Okay, Nicole said, I can see and hear. Charlotte said, I can see and hear. Fanny says, I can see you. Tiffany, I can see you, but can you hear me? Can you hear me and see me? Can you hear me and see me? It needs to be both. We can see, but can y'all hear? Y'all telling me y'all can see me, but can you? Y'all not telling me if it's both, though. You can see me, but can you hear me? Say, I can see you, but I can't hear. You got to say, I can see you, but I can't hear. Or I can see you and I can hear you. Okay. These are the 18 states. Washington, not D.C., the state of Washington, West Coast. Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, North Dakota, Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Minnesota, Louisiana, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maine. I'm going to read them one more time. If you live in these states, you don't have to vaccinate your child. You don't need a religious exemption. You don't need a medical. You have a right to philosophical objection in these 18 states. If you live in the other states, the other 38 states, you need either a religious or a medical exemption. In these 18 states, you don't. They are Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, North Dakota, Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Minnesota, Louisiana, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maine. I'm currently in Detroit, Michigan. My Detroit family, you don't need religion or medicine to exempt your child. I live in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, you don't need religion or medical exemption. You can philosophically object. Who else? Texas, my Texas family. I will see you on May 5th. In Texas, philosophical exemption. Milwaukee, my Milwaukee people out in Wisconsin, philosophical exemption. My Denver people, shout out to Black Denver, Colorado, philosophical Phoenix, my Phoenix family, Black Arizona, philosophical exemption. Seattle, my Seattle family, philosophical exemption. Little Rock, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, shout out to Pine Bluff in Little Rock, philosophical exemption. Okay, who else we got? Ohio, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Youngstown. Who am I missing? Columbus. If you live in Ohio, philosophical exemption. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, philosophical exemption. I never been to Utah. I never been to Idaho. I never been to Oregon. I never been to Maine. I never been to North Dakota. Okay. But you guys, I know it's only 5 of you in those states, but you guys, philosophical exemption. Let's go back to the questions. Next question. This is the Black Parent Teleconference. Scholar of the Decade, which is me. Scholar of the Decade, which is me. Okay. Special Scholar of the Decade edition. I'm speaking tonight in Detroit, Charles Wright Museum, 3 to 6. Come on out. Free for everybody. Minds of 86 going once. Minds of 86 going twice. Minds of 86 going 3 times. Canceling you out. Who else want to tap in? If you want to text me your question, you could text me your question 215-989-9858. If you want to text a question, 215-989-9858. If you want to text a question, 215-989-9858. Who tapping in next? Okay, let's see here. Yana2Fly_4. Where Yana2Fly at? Going once.
Hi.
There you go. Yana2Fly. Let me see their hair. It better be natural. Let me see it.
It is. I'm taking my braids out. I'm taking my braids out.
That's what I'm talking about. Where you at in the world, Sister Yana?
I am in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Where at? Central, South?
I am in Bergen County, New Jersey, so I'm in North Jersey.
So you near Patterson.
Near Patterson. I saw you in Montclair twice.
Montclair.
I forgot the name of the venue, but it was a lovely young lady. It was like a
Sister Kalia, probably
Sister
the
Kalia.
NIBPA acting president. Yes.
Yes, I saw you twice there. I have a quick question. My daughter is 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having difficulty with the discipline.
Okay.
She likes to read. She's very smart. She's very articulate. The discipline I'm having a problem with. As far as like get your homework done, routine, just basic things, bathing, things like that.
Okay.
I don't want to spank.
And you don't have to.
I know, but what I'm doing, Dr. Umar, is I'm screaming and yelling a lot. I'm screaming and yelling my head off constantly.
And you're screaming and yelling because you're not giving out consequences. Mothers scream and yell.
Hold on one second.
Go ahead. We're going to handle this discipline once and for all right now. We're going to handle this discipline problem.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Screaming and yelling is done to take the place of actively doing something about the misbehavior. Mothers, y'all scream and yell to substitute for the consequence. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, most of the times when you're screaming and yelling, it's because you don't feel like addressing it right now. You just don't have time for it right now. Something else is on your mind. Something else is on your plate. Something else you don't have time for. So you scream and yell to avoid giving out a consequence and addressing the situation, right? So first of all, we got to get out of that. Always remind yourself, if I'm raising my voice, it's because I should be doing something. Right? In other words, you're talking instead of acting. Exactly. Now, you don't have to do something in the moment. All you have to do is serve notice to her. You just broke a rule. You're going to get a consequence. I don't know what it is right now, but in the meantime, go to your room until dinner. In the meantime, go to your room until it's time for us to go. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. So it doesn't have, I don't have to have the answer right then. Because sometimes I'm like,
you don't have to have the answer right then. Let me give you a poor comparison.
Okay.
Let's look at the criminal injustice system in America, right? You get arrested, and then they put you in a cell.